Hi guys, it's Paula and I hope you are doing well. This is going to be the finale for the Advent Calendar Project Pan for the 2021 year and the intro for the same project for this coming year in 2022. I am so excited to be bringing this project back again. This project was created by Hèléne. I will have her channel linked down below, as well as links to everybody else that are participating either here on YouTube or over on Instagram. I have seen some new intros popping up since yesterday, so that's super exciting. So glad to have you all joining in. This is a really fun project and I've been enjoying it so much over the last 2 years. So I'm happy to be doing it again for a third year. This project focuses on small items, whether they're single-use samples or deluxe samples or even full-size products that are on their last leg. But the point is to get rid of those little guys that tend to linger around without us really noticing. And we do it Advent calendar style. So if you have an actual Advent calendar where you can like open a drawer or stick something in, you can write down the products that you've chosen for this project and slip them in your Advent calendar, or if it's large enough to actually hold the products, you could put them in your Advent calendar. Of course, I don't have an Advent calendar. I have never had an Advent calendar while doing this project for the last 2 years. So what I do is I make a list on a piece of paper and I number it 1 through 24. And then I use an app called Tiny Decisions to randomly choose which number I'm gonna get. Kind of the same idea, not quite as cute as an Advent calendar. One of these days, maybe I will treat myself to an Advent calendar, but this is working just fine for me in the meantime. So let's talk about where we left off last month. I think I was working on 5 products. One of those products is a combination of 2 products, but I do have some new empties for today and I'm really excited to have moved these out by the finale of this year's project. The first item that I finished is this Radiance Primer from Japanesque. I didn't feel like this did a whole lot. This is definitely something that did not wow me. I would much prefer, I hate to even mention it because it just brings me to tears, but the Becca primer, the backlight one, is so much better than this. I've tried some other glowy primers this year. This does not compete with any of them. So at the end of the day, I'm just really glad to have moved this out and gotten it out of my stash for this year because I do not plan to repurchase this. I did use it as a primer, as a base to foundation, and it did have a little bit of glow, but it didn't really have any moisturizing or nourishing effect. And when I want a glowy primer, it's in the winter when my skin tends to be a little bit dry. So it seems like this should have been the time to use it, but it really didn't leave my skin feeling moisturized or nourished in any way. So that's why I didn't really like this product. The other product I finished for today, I loved. I absolutely loved. It was so good. This is a concealer from NARS. It's called the NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer I think the shade was in Custard. I had to check on another one to make sure because mine has all worn off. I did not use this as a concealer. I ended up using this as a foundation. It took like over 2 weeks to get through this little sample as a full-on foundation, but it was so amazing. I loved using this as a foundation. I loved it so much that I would absolutely consider purchasing a full size of this just to use as foundation. It was so good. I loved it. I loved using this as a foundation. I loved it. It was, I think it has a lot of the same effects as like a foundation stick, and I do like foundation sticks. So I don't know. I would definitely consider purchasing a full size of this down the road, but not as a concealer, but as a foundation. I cannot comment to its effects as a concealer at all. I did not use this as a concealer. I just used it as a foundation, mainly because the shade was a little bit too dark for me to use as a concealer, but I loved it. I loved it so much. It's totally going on my wish list at wherever I can buy it. I don't know. Hopefully it's still available. I don't even know. Hopefully it's still available. I'm never even sure when I use these products if they're still available or not, but hopefully they're still selling this because it was fabulous as a foundation. That leaves us with 3 more products that are rolling into this year's project. This one I am so close to finishing. I'm one use away. This is my lipstick sample in, I think it was just called Naked. I think this is my lipstick sample in Naked from Urban Decay. There is the tiniest amount of product on this side right here, and that's it. I want to call it done, but I don't feel like I can. I'm wearing it today. I wore it yesterday. I didn't wear it a whole lot before today and yesterday, which is why I didn't finish this, but I did use it 3 times, and there is one more use and it'll be gone. I want to count it as an empty, but I feel like I can't. The next product rolling over for next year is this foundation sample in this very deep golden shade from NYX. I didn't touch this at all. I didn't even try to use this. I talked about this last month when I rolled it in. This is in direct competition with a bronzer I'm trying to finish first. So I knew I wasn't going to be using this at all this month, so I didn't even try. I do think this will make a nice bronzer once I crack it open, but yeah, I didn't use this at all. And the final product rolling over is the Twofer. This is a combination of several different foundation samples and the ends of the foundation bottles that I cut open and scraped out. I didn't really use this at all in the past month. I used it like maybe once, so there's not been a lot of change. I've been focusing on that NARS sample that I was using for like 2 weeks, and now since then I've been using my Benefit Duo that I just talked about in, what project was it? My 6 by Santa project. So I've been using that as a foundation, not this. This is a little bit dark for me. I did use it a couple times and I can still make it work if I mix it in with the Benefit foundation that I've been working on off and on in combination with this. The two together do make a pretty decent combination. But yeah, this is definitely rolling over as well. I feel like I have a frog in my throat. So there are technically three products rolling over into next year. I'm happy with that. I'm actually quite happy with that. I think I usually do have 2 or 3 products rolling over, and so there's no surprise there. I'm really excited to start this year's project. I have laid out all 24 products that I've chosen for this year's project. So even though there's 3 rolling over, I'm still rolling in 24 new products for the new advent calendar. And I've already pulled 2 from the 24, and I ended up with numbers 3, and then I got number 16. Number 3 is another Urban Decay lipstick sample. I'm kind of glad to get this early on in the year. That'll give me a fighting chance of finishing this before the end of the year. This is the shade Back Talk. It has been used a time or 2. It's looking a little bit dried out. I'm sure I could bring it back to life without too much difficulty, but I'm excited. I knew I wanted to keep working on these Urban Decay lipstick samples in this project because obviously these are getting on the older side, and also, you know, they're just easy to throw in, but this is the project to put them in. Maybe I'll put some in other projects during the year, but this is the main project I like to throw these in. So I'm really glad to have another one to work on. This is a pinky shade, a pinky mauve shade. That I really like, so I'm looking forward to it. The product I pulled for number 16, unfortunately, is another cream bronzer. This is the same NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer that I was just talking about a minute ago, but this is the shade Hazelnut. This will hopefully make a really nice cream contour shade. Again, now that I know how this formula works, I'm sure this will make a nice cream contour shade. Unfortunately, I'm still working on the bronzer that I've been working on all year, and I also have this NYX sample to get through too. So I'm a little overwhelmed with cream bronzer products. I think I'll try and use this one up first, and then I'll go to this one. But like I said, I'm not touching anything until the cream bronzer from that e.l.f. palette is gone. I'm just too close to finishing it off to stop using it, even though it's looking more and more like I will have to finish that in January and not December. I'm going to keep using that every day until it's gone. And then I will fool around with those 2. So plenty to work on in this project. This lipstick better be gone before the end of the year. That's all I can say. I have every intention of finishing this off before the end of 2021. So I guess I'll be wearing that shade again tomorrow. I think that's all I have to say for this project. I'm really excited to be doing it again. I think I already said that. I have some good products that I picked. I don't have a ton of samples left. At one point when I first started my makeup use up journey, I had a lot of samples, like a huge like Starbucks bag full of samples. And it's dwindling, and I have a lot of certain categories like single perfumes, like little sample perfumes, and foundations and lipsticks. But I don't have a lot of other categories, so I did have to bring in some deluxe samples to round out the 24. Some of those are definitely going to be challenging, but I'm cautiously optimistic that I can get through them this year, especially if I get them earlier in the year versus later on in the year. So hopefully that will be the case. But anyways, that is going to be it for this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Don't forget to check out everybody listed down below in the description box and see what they're doing. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.